We have been showing you how the terror attack in France is impacting the race for the White House. CBS News political director and Face the Nation moderator John Dickerson is in Cleveland this morning, where the Republican convention is only 3 days away. John, good morning.
Good morning, Nora.
So is it going to be chaos or a perfect coming out party for Donald Trump and his running mate?
Well, based on the campaign so far, it's unlikely to be like anything we've seen before. If it's a smooth convention, that would be a huge win for Donald Trump, because the question coming in here, based on the conversations I've had with delegates here, is, can he do the compulsory exercises of a presidential campaign? He's thrown out the rule book so far. So can he get through 4 days, put forward a consistent message, and unify Republicans, many of whom have come here to Cleveland still with questions about the nominee?
Why did he choose Mike Pence in the end, John?
Well, I think because in the end, he went more sort of with his head than his heart. Normally you pick, or sometimes you pick a vice president to be an attack dog, but the nominee here is the attack dog. And so Mike Pence smooths out the Trump campaign. He's a solid pick. He's strong with social conservatives. He's not of Washington, but has Washington experience. If he had picked somebody like Newt Gingrich, who is much more unpredictable, there would have been clashes likely as the nominee went, as the campaign went forward. And so Pence is a kind of calmer pick. And based on the conversations here with delegates, I talked to one who said it's a stabilizing pick. They're worried about an unpredictable nominee, and Pence lowers that unpredictability factor.
And what's the reaction, John, that you're hearing about Mike Pence? Because the latest poll from CBS and New York Times finds 86% of the voters don't know who he is or what he does or much about him.
Yeah, vice presidents rarely matter. I mean, you got to go back to Lyndon Johnson to have a really a vice president who really mattered. What it tells you usually, though, is something about the nominee. So when George Bush picked Dick Cheney, it showed that he cared about governing. He wanted a seasoned hand. Same with Obama picking Biden. What does this say about Donald Trump? It says to Republicans here that I've talked to that he recognizes his campaign needs a little stability, that it's not all going to be run and gun kind of unpredictability. And Mike Pence sends that signal, but it sends its signal for a day or so. The question is, does this stick for the next several months? And that's still an open question with Donald Trump.
John, when we have a kind of terrorist attack that we have, what is perceived as a terrorist attack in France and also what we had in Orlando, does that have a political outplay? Can you suggest, or can we discover whether it favors one candidate or the other, one party or the other?
Well, we certainly see both candidates rushing to try to give people look for some sense of control. Whether a candidate has a 5-point plan or not, they are looking for them to frame the moment, explain it, and explain why things are going to get better. The problem with the campaign we've got right now in the structure of it is that both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, in an age of anxiety, are part of their message is you should be even more anxious if my opponent becomes president. So Hillary Clinton is saying Donald Trump is threatening. Donald Trump is saying Hillary Clinton doesn't understand the nature of the threat, which means as people are looking to their candidates for some kind of grasp and understanding of a complicated world, whether it's terrorism overseas or violence in America, the structure of the campaign right now is responding to them with more messages of anxiety. And so that's what has this campaign in a very jittery place. Events are already jittery enough. The way it's being discussed in the campaign is more so.
Thanks, John. John Dickerson in Cleveland. John, thank you. And Sunday on Face the Nation, John's guests at Quicken Loans Arena include Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus. That's Sunday right here on CBS.